Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast. Today on the show, I share the inspiring story of Mimi Bleu. Mimi is something of an entrepreneur in many ways. She started a popular online magazine called Belle Inspiration, and now she's moved into the world of video streaming, sharing the stories of popular French locals and expats alike. Please welcome to the show, Mimi, and enjoy her story. So welcome to the show, Mimi. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good, Crystal. How are you?
I'm great. It's so finally great to have you on the show. I've known you for 10 years now? Something like that?
Yes, I think it's been about 10 years. Yeah.
I love it. We've been through a lot together, working on a lot of projects together. And now I finally get to have you on the show. It's wonderful to have you here. But I want to go back to the start of what originally brought you to Paris and how long you've been here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I moved here in 2006. Moved to Paris from Florida. And a handsome Frenchman brought me here. I was on a holiday in 2005, and yes, I met the most handsome Frenchman. His name was Jean-Pierre. It was basically love at first sight, so that changed everything for both of us. So 18 months later, I moved to Paris, and we were married. So that's how I wound up in Paris.
I mean, that's what most women, I think, are dreaming of happening when they move here. They're like, oh, yes, let me meet this beautiful Frenchman and let him help me move here. So it must have been tough. I mean, you came over, you had your whole life in Florida, you were doing something completely different. And then when you arrived at Paris, what did you end up doing?
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, in Florida, I grew up in a real estate family. I had my own real estate company. And when I came here, I had 3 words in French. That's all I could say. So I was pretty quiet for the first couple years. But around 2007 or 2008, I think I was on the internet and I stumbled on all these blogs. So that's when blogs were getting real big. I'd really never read a blog before. So I kind of got caught up in that a bit and thought, well, to keep myself busy, I launched a little blog. I went to Blogger. It was all free back then. I launched a blog called, if you're sitting down, I named it Bonjour Romance. So
I love it.
I was still sort of a newlywed and I was in love and I was still, learning about my new country. It was basically just little stories. Each post was about, my daily life in Paris. And, I would just show pretty photos about what I was seeing that day. So that's kind of what I started doing with myself. Just the blog to stay busy.
I love that. Bonjour Romance. Is this still available? Can we still find it online?
I haven't posted on it for years and years, but I think it could still be up there. I've never really done anything to it. So probably a bit corny, but
but obviously you're a romantic. I know my first year in Paris, I was an au pair. I was a nanny and I made a blog or two and it was called The City of Love and Dirty Diapers.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a great title, actually.
Yeah, it was super fun. I used to write about being an au pair on there. Oh man. I definitely took that down though because I was like, maybe I was talking too much crap about the kids here.
Oh yeah, that's true. That could be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. Just the ins and outs of boogers and all that fun.
Oh boy.
So that launched into your online magazine, and tell us more about that. You created your own online magazine through that, right?
Right. Yes, it kind of came from that blog. So a couple years later, after the blog, in 2010, I stumbled on the very first digital magazine that I had ever seen. I think it's basically when they first came out in 2010. So it was an Australian interior design magazine. And I was just really taken with it. And I thought, wow, this is a great idea. I wonder, if I could do something like this with some of my blog content and create a magazine all about authentic La Vie Française. So I went back to my tiny little audience from the blog and, asked them, would you be interested? And it was 100% resounding yes. So I totally had no idea what I was doing. Didn't know what any of this was about, but I really felt good about it. I kind of felt, oh, this is going to be good. So I just launched into it and again, had no idea what I was doing, but somehow I created this mammoth 230-page issue, the first issue. Yeah,
Whoa, 230
230 pages.
pages?
Again, I had no idea what I was doing. That's way too big, but I just thought I had to put everything in that first issue. So
Wow.
anyway, so I got that finished. It took me a few months, that's for sure. And I put it on the blog and said, hey, if anyone's interested, here's the link. You can go and get a year subscription. My plan was 6 issues a year. So anyway, that first year from that little blog audience, I had, I think it was 320 subscribers.
Wow,
Uh,
that's pretty good.
yeah, in that first year, and the crazy part about it, I think most people really at that time didn't know what a digital magazine was.
Hmm.
So I sort of had to help people through it, and now everyone knows what it is. But that was kind of the start of that. I thought, well, hey, maybe I have a business here. So I just continued, and here we are. It'll be 13 years this September.
Wow.
So we're
And what has
going.
it grown to now?
Well, now we have a grand total of, I think we're just over 54,000 paid
Wow,
subscribers.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. I
And
mean, to not know what you're doing and just be like, here you go, there's an online
yeah,
magazine.
there you go. I think sometimes you just have to follow your gut instincts when something really hits you and feels good. You don't have to wait until you know all the answers. You just have to start, I think.
Yeah,
So
start before you're ready.
yeah, yeah. And most of the subscribers prefer the digital magazine, which is surprising because print is such a special thing, but we also offer print copies as well. So
Oh,
people have a
nice.
choice to, whatever they prefer, how to read. So yeah, so
And that
that's,
was called Bell Inspiration. If you guys want to look
yes.
it up, Bell
Yeah, yeah,
Inspiration
that is
Magazine.
still ongoing Bell Inspiration magazine. Yep.
Still going strong.
Yeah.
Now you've launched into a new project, another project that you did not know what you were doing, but you
Yeah.
jumped right in. I love that about you. Talk a little bit about your new video channel.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. That's another huge project that it's called, yeah, Joie de Vivre TV. And it is a streaming network. And we stream like French lifestyle shows and series. It works a lot like Netflix. So we have lots of different categories. So, food, chateau life, art, beauty, just you name it. So yeah, basically I've actually been trying to work on some way to do more videos. I probably started about 5 years ago. And I was just trying to find the right platform or the right format to present some original videos all about, La Vie Française and Joie de Vivre. But I just couldn't find the right platform. For whatever reason, I didn't want to go to YouTube. I just wanted something different and unique. So January of 2022, I woke up one morning and it just sort of hit me out of the blue. And I thought, I need a streaming network. So, uh,
As one does.
yeah, as one does. Yeah, but that's how my brain works. But so I, again, just like with the magazine, I really had no idea what was in store for me, the amount of work. But I just really felt that, hey, I've hit on it, and I just felt it like, I go by my gut a lot. That doesn't sound so elegant,
Yeah.
but that's what I go by. And of course, also your heart, that could sound a little better. And I just went for it. So I just hit the ground running, started filming. Actually, I have to thank you, Crystal, because you are our main videographer. So we've had lots of fun. You and you've done lots of videoing for a lot of the shows, but yeah, I just hit the ground running. And so from January 2022, when I got the idea, we finally launched in March of 2023. So we've been launched for 4.5 months now. So,
So great.
yeah, so it's gone really, really well. We started the launch with 13 show hosts and 48 episodes. And now we're just kind of growing every day. We have a lot of new show hosts coming on board, lots of new seasons that we're filming. So there's always going to be new content on there, and everyone seems to love it so far. So it's been
Yeah,
a
I mean, it's
exciting.
been so fun to make with you, and I love the whole concept of just giving people access to living in France and all these people doing interesting things, and talk about some of the shows. I mean, we have some chefs, we have a lady running a castle, we have artists. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm just so grateful. I've been surrounded by so many talented women that do all kinds of things. Like you said, we have chefs, yeah, we have chateau owners, artists, beauty experts. I mean, you name it, flowers. So yeah, just to name just a couple of the show hosts. There's like too many for me to call out all at once, but just a few of them, like, Jane Webster. The name of her show is Chateau Life. I'm sure a lot of you already follow Jane. She's an Australian that owns a beautiful chateau in Normandy. So she's filmed, we're almost finished with season 2. So, her show, she cooks, gardens, sets beautiful tables. It's just a really entertaining, great show. And Jane's wonderful. On the cooking, we have Molly. She's the cordon bleu trained pastry chef in Versailles. So we go through some recipes with her. She's a great teacher. We go to the food market with her. We pack a picnic together. It's just a really fun show. We have a new season coming up with Molly too that we're talking about now. Oh my goodness, we have so many. And then we have Jolene Emery. Her show's called Your Parisian Makeup Artist. So she shares all kinds of great tips and tutorials with makeup and skincare, how to look your best. Oh my goodness, we have artists, Sonia, we have Bida, her shows Everyday French Living, Flowers by Amy LaRue, just all kinds of things. We just launched our very first kid show called Les Pouces, and that teaches kids, little kids from 3 to 11, how to speak French. So we're excited about that. And yeah, that's just a few of them. I hate to leave anyone out because they're all so talented and important. But yeah, that's just a couple that you'll find on there, and a
Yeah.
lot more coming.
So many talented people and so much to explore, and talk a little bit about the obstacles of creating the site. Like you said, you created your own streaming channel. You're not using something that was already created, like YouTube. So talk about some of the obstacles of creating a movie channel, a TV channel like that.
Right. Yeah. Well, we did have some obstacles. Yeah. It was just a huge learning curve for me. It was kind of part of the media world that I really hadn't had much experience in it at all. Again, I think sometimes it's best you don't know how difficult something is because you may not go ahead with it. But I just think, again, when you feel strongly that this is the right thing, you just have to go and do it. You have to go out there and try, and then things just start working. You learn, things start coming in, into play. I think the hardest part was building the website. That was the biggest obstacle. The filming and all that. It's a ton of work, editing, but that's fun. I totally enjoy that part. But it was getting the website built. I can't do that side at all. So I hired two big web developer companies, and they just couldn't do what I needed them to do. It's a bit of a complicated website with the streaming videos and all the functionality that it needs to stream those videos. But I had a few gray hairs and a few nervous breakdowns over that. But eventually I found the third company, and that was the charm. The guys did just an excellent job. They built exactly what I kind of envisioned. Now they're maintaining it, and that they keep us running. So that was probably the biggest obstacle. All the filming and all that. That's kind of the fun part that I'm really enjoying. So.
Yeah. And what's been like the most rewarding part of creating something like that? Like what is the best part for you?
Yeah, well, I think the most rewarding part, besides just working with some wonderful, wonderful people and just like-minded people, is the fact that we're bringing authentic, original. It's 100% original content about, well, experiencing le joie de vivre wherever you are. I think we want to get the point across. You don't have to live in France. You don't have to visit here every month to experience that. You can experience it wherever you are. So I think that's the most rewarding part. Just it's authentic content. Our show hosts, they're sharing things that they love, that they do every day. And I think mostly they're women. So I think we as women like to see what other women are doing, what they're creating. And that's why, I made the decision that we only film and air original programming. So everything's just exclusive to Joie de Vivre TV. You can't watch them anywhere else. And I felt that was important to sort of maybe give it a little bit of a community feel. If you want to put it that way. And that's kind of the feedback that we're now getting from our subscribers and our audience, that, they like the way it feels. So we really want to give it, want to make it a special platform, that almost like a destination for, women that just want to experience more joie de vivre in their life wherever they may live. So
yeah, I think that's an easy sell. People want to be connected to Paris. They want to be connected to France. It's such a dreamy place for so many people. And in your opinion, why do you think creatives are attracted to Paris?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of reasons. But I think it's really just Paris is an exceptionally beautiful city. All of France. There's so many different regions of France, and actually we're going to be filming in all the different regions, but Paris especially is just so beautiful. I think as you kind of wander through the streets, you just see so many details. The Parisians or the French, they're just all about details. And I think I think that just kind of breeds creativity. I don't know. It kind of inspires you. So I think that's why a lot of people come here, and they are inspired to create all kinds of different things. So
yeah, just from being surrounded by beauty and all that inspiration, you can't help but become an artist yourself.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's the whole lifestyle too, in a way. Parisians, they work just as hard as anyone else in any part of the world, but they do know how to relax. And while they're relaxing, they take in the details. And I've come to learn by living here that we all need that little time to kind of decompress a bit. It's a kind of way of you kind of reboot things a bit. So I like to think that watching Le Joie de Vivre TV, I maybe tried to recreate that a little bit. So you can sit down and watch, and reboot a bit, re-energize by seeing some really creative shows and content, maybe be inspired by it too. So,
Sure. Yeah, definitely. And how would you define creativity in your own words?
oh boy. Well, of course, it's talent, obviously, but I think more importantly, it's creativity is actually using that talent to create something you're truly excited about. So, and again, it always goes back to, how, following your heart or your gut, I think is the big part of that, at least for me, it is. So, cause a lot of people have, all kinds of untapped talent, but for whatever reason, they don't actually try to use it. And it can be hard and all our lives are different, but I think just using your talent, um, to create something you're excited about. It may be a streaming network, or it may be, pulling out the paints and easels that you've had tucked away in the attic for 20 years. May just be, you know, taking a trip somewhere that you've been wanting to go to. Um, but yeah, I think it's mainly, just using your talent. Just use it, just
Yeah,
go
it's
with
about
it.
showing up and
Right.
listening to those whispers, because it sounds like you said, like your gut or your heart, or
Right.
it's the same thing at the end of the day. It's just something's pulling at you that you want to try, and a lot of people just kind of brush it away because they think, oh, I need to make money, or I need to take care of this or
Mhm.
that and the other, and ignore what's calling to them.
Right. Yep. That's true. Yeah. Of course, we all have different lives. So some creativity you can just incorporate in your life. It won't necessarily be a business. Be just something that gives you a little joy, in your life. But then sometimes that creativity takes on a life of its own and it does turn into a business and something totally different than maybe you started out with. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as someone who's started multiple business now, from running real estate to a successful online magazine and now this streaming channel, I mean, what business advice would you give to creatives?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I know I've been repeating myself, but I think it's that old saying to follow your gut. Follow your heart and what you feels right, for you. I learned that from my dad. I worked with my dad from a little girl. I had the big privilege of working with him every day. He was in real estate business. And that was what he did with, all his business decisions, his life. Yeah, he just kind of went with his gut. He didn't look to see what other people were doing. Even in the real estate field, which was quite groundbreaking, I guess would be the word. Because usually you figure out what everyone else is doing. You follow the trends and what the experts, so called, are telling you to do. But I think then listen to all that, but then go with what feels right in your heart. And don't always follow the trends. I guess I've always tried to be a little unique as I possibly could because, my space I'm in, this French lifestyle space, there's a lot of us in this space. So I really try hard to be original and try to make it my own a bit. It's not easy. But yeah, I think just, follow your heart and what you feel good about and go ahead and try it. What's the worst thing that
Yeah.
can happen, right?
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And I think a lot of times when we do something just for fun, it can turn into something that's money without trying. And sometimes things will not turn into money at all. And that's perfectly fine too.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, it may just be something you just really enjoy doing, gives you joy in your life. So, yeah, but yeah, things have a way of taking on a life of its own. So, just get out there and try a few things. Yeah, go with your gut. That's my big advice for people.
And what are some regrets that you have that you would go back and tell your younger creative self? What are some things you go back and tell that person from the beginning?
Oh boy. Well, probably several things, but again, I'm repeating myself over and over, but I think I would tell myself, go with your gut more. Stop overthinking things and worrying about what other people are going to think, or if I do this, maybe I'll look foolish or stupid, or maybe I'll fail. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
So you try something you felt good about. Maybe it doesn't set the world on fire. That's okay. Maybe it's just something you decide to do just because you love it. Or maybe you decide, okay, if it was a business, okay, maybe I'll move on to the next thing. But, at least you tried, and you can always pick yourself up and try again. So I think I would tell myself, probably be more, out there. So I've had lots of ideas over the years, and I just would, file them away thinking, maybe that's not the greatest idea. It sounds a little stupid. People won't get it. Um, but in some of those ideas, I think I probably should have ran with, but I didn't. So again, following your heart, I think that's key.
Yeah, be more outrageous, go
Yeah.
against the grain,
Yeah.
do what feels right to you. Because I think we do have the outside world influencing us so much, especially with social media. It's in our
Yeah.
faces constantly, and we're
Yeah.
constantly seeing what the rest of the world is doing. So sometimes it's hard to be like, oh, everyone's going to judge me, and not just my community, but the whole world is going to
Yeah,
judge me.
that is true. But yeah, I think you have to remember when things are trending, someone out there had some idea and started these trends. Sometimes it happens all of a sudden, and lots of people are on board, but somebody probably started that trending thing. So go ahead, try to be that trendsetter if possible. It's not always easy, but just you have to stay positive and think of it a bit of exciting and adventure. I call a lot of things I do my next big adventure. I I think it helps me in my mind, get through some big projects that I feel good about and want to put out there. One other bit of advice that I would give to people is be very careful who you share your plans and your ideas with. It kind of depends on who's listening if you're really sure of that person, and I would definitely try to find someone that you can bounce ideas off that, you really feel you can trust, and, not someone who after they listen think, wow, she may do something good. Maybe I'll just, not be as encouraging as I should be. So just be very careful who you surround yourself with when you are ready to step out and do something a little bit different.
Yeah, I think that's great advice because I think that, we're in those beginning periods where we're very like nervous, and any little bit of negativity can really sway us in a different direction.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, looking back, there's a few things that I did want to do, and yeah, I shared it with someone. This was years ago, and they sort of shot it full of holes. And, at the time I thought, well, yeah, she's right. This is going to be a crash and burn. But, now I'll never know. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and of course, obviously, there again, that's the importance of having one or two or a group of people that you really trust, to bounce off ideas. Because sometimes you can get a little crazy and you need someone to, give you the sensible side of things too. So it's all
Yeah.
finding the balance. Mhm.
Definitely. It's about having that inner circle that you can trust, and surrounding yourself with people who are trying to, live their dreams too. Because when you're with people who are just kind of settling, and like you're like, oh, why would they, why should I go above that? Or that might make them uncomfortable. So
Right.
definitely it's important to find people that are re-energizing you and supporting you in many ways.
Yep, that's true. And I have to thank you because you've been one of those people, Crystal. All the
Oh,
times we've
thank you.
known each other, I've shared lots of crazy ideas with you. And yeah, you've always been, very sensible with your advice or thoughts, but you've been very encouraging. And I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, well, thank you so
A lot.
much. I feel the same way about you. We
No.
encourage each other,
Yep.
we help each other, and that's what it's all about is like women supporting women, people supporting people. Let's all try to be a little nicer to each other.
Yep. That's
And
good
what
advice.
and what are you most excited about for your future projects?
Oh, wow. Well, I think, yeah, right now the plan is just to keep, growing the Joie de Vivre TV. Just, creating more shows. We're developing lots of new shows, new show hosts. And yeah, we just want to make it as good as we can. We want it to be the destination for people that want to come and be inspired. We have a lot of plans coming up here within the next year. We're going to offer lots of different things on the channel, like live streams and live shopping shows. And we have some apps that are being built now. And we have a couple other things that I won't announce quite yet because there's a lot to do, but I'm super excited about. So, yeah. And also, we're going to keep the magazine going. We just did a big kind of brand redesign there. So yeah, lots of good plans. We're just going to keep moving and keep working. So that's the plan.
Definitely building the empire.
No,
And where can people connect with you online and learn more about your work?
Okay, well, let's see. If you're interested in the magazine, just go to Belle, and that's BELLE. So it's bellinspiration.com. If you're interested in learning more about the streaming network, just go to joiedevivretv.com. And that's where you can find everything you need.
Fabulous. Well, we'll share all that in the show notes. You guys can click and check out more. And thanks so much for chatting with me today, Mimi.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Crystal. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much for tuning in to La Vie Creative. You can find more information on MissParisPhoto.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word for all my creative guests. We have the power to help them to keep doing what they love. See you next time.